Let's talk a little bit about Jacoby Brissett. Browns brought him in to be the backup to Deshaun Watson. May have to play if there's any type of suspension. And again, I know you're going to have this on your show a little bit later. Give us a little preview. I know you broke him down. What did you see with Jacoby Brissett? What do you think the Browns liked about him, and what do you see when you study him?
I like Jacoby Brissett just because he has a good tool set, right? Nice arm strength. People think he's run first, and this is as confusing to me as like when people thought he was like Jameis Winston was run first for whatever reason, right? I'm like, he's not really run first. He's guy who can run if you ask him to run. He's not guy who's going to take an RPO, right? Mitchell Trubisky is somebody who would take an RPO and do well with it because he has that kind of athletic and twitchy ability. Jacoby Brissett, he's quick. He's not fast in the long sense. He can scramble. He's big enough to where people don't really want to tackle him. And what I like about him is his ability to throw on the move, right? I think that's going to be something that they're going to utilize. If Jacoby Brissett starts a game for the Cleveland Browns, he's probably only going to throw the ball about 15 to 20 times, and about 10 of those 20 throws are probably going to be play action boots, right? One side or the other. So I think that's how they use him. He fits in the offense, has a stronger arm, so you don't have some of the limitation issues that you had with the Case Keenum. Can move if he needs to move, and has those things going for him. Like, he's not a guy you're going to want to throw the ball 50 times with. He's not a guy you're going to want to go into empty with a ton. But if you put him in specific situations, I do think he can deliver for you. One thing also I noticed, if you go back and watch some of his games, he was actually a pretty decent clutch option there at the quarterback position. So, you know, he had those big moments where the game was on the line, it was on his back, and he delivered in those small moments. Again, not going to break the stat sheet or anything like that, but a serviceable guy that can do maybe 5 things really good at the quarterback position, and sometimes that's all you need from the quarterback position at a backup sense, because you can get away with doing 5 things really good for like 4 or 5 weeks in the NFL.
All right, so the Browns clearly signed him because he has been a backup and has won. Brissett talked about that experience as well as his strengths as a quarterback.
I think it's just me believing in myself. Trusting what got me to the point that at whichever level I was at, and really just falling back on that and trusting the hard work that I put in, and going back to, you know, what do I know about football, and trusting that, and going out there and just playing football and doing what I've done since I was a little kid.
What are your strengths as a quarterback, Jacoby?
Tough. Stand in the pocket, make all the throws. It's hard for me to scout myself and tell it right now, then everybody's gonna know what to do. But yeah, I think I do all the things that the job requires me to do.
And Quincy, to your point, didn't say, you know, I can beat you with my legs. I'm a dual threat. He said I'm tough and I stay in the pocket.
Yeah. He's really somebody whose ability, his mobility is more, he can throw on the run, right? Like, he's not necessarily, you're going to keep a QB spy in for Jacoby Brissett, but he can do some things well. And what he does well, I think Kevin Stefanski can do a really good job taking advantage of. Also, you know, this is why it helps having a good offensive line, having a good running back. If Jacoby Brissett has to play, you can get away with only throwing the ball 20 times. Why? Because you can run the ball with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt or Dearness Johnson, right? If they're able to keep him, if he doesn't sign an offer sheet by the end of this week. So, you have options galore there on the offensive side of the ball. And again, you know, in the case if there is a Watson suspension, which I think the if on that is growing as each day goes by, you have options to get away with stuff for about 6 weeks, right? If it goes longer than that, hey, fingers crossed, we're going to hold on tight. But 6 weeks, I think you could withstand anything.